Hi, everybody. Welcome to what's rapidly becoming a increasingly wet, rainy Tuesday afternoon. I'm meteorologist Rod Hill coming to you from the Portland, Oregon, Vancouver, Washington area. And basically, everything that we've been talking about, now we're into the day of before the night. And the Weather Service has all kinds of different wind advisories and wind warnings up. The forecast hasn't changed, so this is kind of doubling down on what I have been telling you. So, on this Tuesday afternoon, again, we're in the 3 o'clock hour right now. You can see the front right here. You can see the warm front, and again, this is on the. I'm looking on the left side here. Look at my mouse. See where it's kind of a bubble of thicker cloud cover. This is what's starting to feed in and produce increasing rain at this hour. This is the warm push. The front itself comes in tomorrow morning. So incoming tonight, gusty winds and rain, absolutely. And then over here on the right is the updated warning map from the National Weather Service. So the purple color, by the way, offshore is for a high surf advisory. So ahead of this warm front coming in, big rollers or swells, however you want to, classify the waves that come in intervals as high as 25 feet. Yeah, that's pretty good storm watching along the coast tonight from a safe distance, of course. And then the shading, the brownish tones, kind of golden, if you will, right along the coast. This is the high wind warning. This is what I call garden variety in that it's pretty common. We're looking at wind gusts from the south later this evening into the overnight hours, gusting at least to 40, 45. And some of the exposed areas could see winds gusting to 50 to 60 miles per hour. You would not really typically expect that to do any damage. It's again kind of typical, but certainly a noticeable windy night. Now, what is not as typical is the shading from Cottage Grove, Eugene, all the way up I-5 through Salem, Portland, Vancouver, Kelso, Longview, and then this continues up through Toledo and farther north into Washington. So basically all of the I-5 corridor, a wind advisory. This is for south winds gusting at least to 30, 35, and maybe we have some periods overnight tonight where the south wind gusts at 40 to 45. You would not anticipate that being a big problem, but if we get a decent period where there's fairly widespread 40, 45 mile per hour wind gusts tonight, that's enough that we could have some power outages. Certainly enough to blow around some trash cans, maybe some holiday decor that's already out in people's yards. And with the rain, with hours of steady rain coming in and the wind, that's going to reduce visibility for driving. So absolutely a blustery night tonight. And with that said, probably best to be home off of the roadways. Again, it's a high wind warning tonight for the coast and a wind advisory for the I-5 corridor up and down the valley. And to recap, 40 to 60 mile per hour winds at the coast, certainly 40 to 45 mile per hour winds. And then the wind advisory up and down I-5, certainly 30 to 35 and maybe 45 mile per hour winds. Wouldn't be shocked if somebody reports a 50, but this seems to be kind of low end watch warning criteria. The Weather Service technically has the warning and the advisory starting 8 o'clock tonight and then ending with the front approaching coming inland around 6 o'clock in the morning. If anything, you can make the case that the wind risk will go a little bit later than 6 o'clock in the morning hours of tomorrow. Okay, what about Mount Hood? Well, they picked up 8 inches of snow at 6,000 feet at Timberline Lodge over the past 24 hours. So that's really great news. Bachelor's announcing they're opening up, I think this Friday. I think Meadows is going to have at least something open this weekend. Timberline is now open every day that the weather continues to cooperate with snow on the ground. So there you go, early start to the ski season. Snow level 4,500 feet currently. I think we'll rise to about 6,000 feet tomorrow morning. So this makes the forecast difficult. This would be rain over the Cascade passes for travel tomorrow morning. Timberline's right on the edge where it could be a wet snow accumulating or it could be a wet mix so you don't get much accumulation. During the day, snow levels fall to 4,500 feet, anticipating mostly wet weather at Government Camp tonight and tomorrow. But the higher passes could start picking up snow. Timberline picks up snow during the day. Everybody has snow showers of snow levels down to 3,500 feet Thursday and about the same on Friday. So I'm kind of ballparking it out there. If Timberline holds on to wet snow tonight and does not get a period of rain, then absolutely they can pick up 8 to 16 inches of snow out of all this. Yeah. All right. Quick shout out to the Momentus Wealth podcast. They signed up for another 6 months to be my sponsor. So thank you. They fund my weather work and my website. I really appreciate that. You can listen to their investment podcast topics on Apple Podcast and on Spotify. This is a local firm, Momentus Wealth Management, licensed in both Oregon and in Washington. Okay. Well, it's now 3:10 in the afternoon. I'm putting this down for you. Here's the rain picking up, and you can see it's just steady all the way back offshore. The wider look shows that this is widespread up and down the Washington coast, all the way down the Oregon coast. There's a very rainy batch of widespread rain coming in tonight as the winds will be picking up. I showed you this map on the right with the front. Now, notice with me on the right-hand side too, see the lightning detected back here? That's tomorrow afternoon. There's no lightning threat tonight or tomorrow morning, but tomorrow afternoon, we're behind the front. The trailing upper level low starts working in or toward us in the upper level trough anyway. And we could have some thunder and lightning tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night. And then that lightning threat continues Thursday. Again, yesterday, we had a fistful of lightning strikes. And then if you haven't heard last night, around, I think the report came in at 9:24 exactly, Rockaway Beach area, folks saying that they believe they could have had a tornado. There was some 1 minute of intense winds with some fencing down and some shingles off of roofs. Weather Service had, I don't know if they made it or not, but they had planned to go out there and do a damage survey today. Then they would make the determination if it was probably just winds or maybe an EF0 tornado with winds that could have been 60 miles per hour or slightly higher than that. So we're waiting to hear that report. Get back into an unstable thunderstorm threat again, the PM hours of tomorrow. I mentioned earlier the high surf advisory with the 25-foot waves coming in. This is my Channel House camera. That's that hotel lodge that sits right on the bay. So this is a camera on the roof. You're right on the bay inlet. You almost feel like you can spit in the ocean, as the saying goes, when you stay there. It's kind of cool. That's the Channel House. There's 101 Depot Bay, and you can see the seas are looking rough. Again, 25-foot swells expected to come in. All right, courtesy of KGW TV and their Futurecast model. Let's see if I can back this up and play this. Okay. Are you ready? Let's hit play. All right, here we are. 5 o'clock this afternoon, steady rain moving in. This is basically going to be steady, widespread rain all of the night. Here's the frontal boundary coming in tomorrow morning, 8:32. So that's really wet. Then the front moves through. And now there's the low back here. You can see the circulation coming in from the northwest of these scattered showers and heavy downpours. So again, the steady rain shield now starting to take hold. Here's the rain. Tomorrow morning, you wake up, puddles all over the place and still heavy rain. There's snow out in the blues tomorrow morning. And again, here's the cyclonic scattered heavy downpours of maybe thunder tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, and that threat goes into Thursday. So again, Seattle to Medford, overnight tonight, rain out through the gorge, snow out into the blues. There's the snow level that will lower with scattered precipitation tomorrow evening. And again, look at these heavy downpour areas. So again, that's courtesy of KGW TV and their Futurecast model. Now, this is the national blended model, and it's going to show you potential rainfall from right now through tomorrow night into early Thursday morning. And this shows there could be an inch of total rain coming. It shows a half of an inch to 3/4 of an inch from Seattle northward, but it shows about an inch in the Kelso Longview area down through Portland, Salem, all the way down to Eugene, about 9/10 of an inch. Shows a couple inches of rain, or well, 1 to 2, we'll say, at the coast, with some areas perhaps getting higher. And there are those decent rain bullseye amounts and a mix of snow, depending on elevation, all the way out through the blues. But again, up and down all of Washington, up and down all of Western Oregon, big rain event. Not overly big, but certainly a widespread rain event tonight, tomorrow at times, into Thursday morning. All right, wind is the biggest headline because we have the wind warning at the coast and the wind advisory for the valley. So this is 5 o'clock today. So this is happening right now. There are actually some 30-mile-per-hour wind gusts in the Willamette Valley from the south at this hour. And there probably are some 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts that will absolutely be likely at 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock coming up along the coast. So I'm going to play this into the evening. Now, the orange colors are the 50-plus mile-per-hour winds, okay? So here we are going into, this will be 10 o'clock tonight. So the late evening, you got 40 to 50-mile-per-hour winds potentially right along the beaches themselves. This would be a 60-mile-per-hour wind gust offshore. And then you've got winds gusting 30, 35, 38 miles per hour, maybe 40. This shows winds all the way up through almost up into Olympia with 30-mile-per-hour wind gusts. It's certainly the same down south, 30-mile-per-hour wind gusts plus over in Central Oregon. Now, here is early tomorrow morning. So 5 a.m., now you can see the winds out. Let me back this up because it's kind of interesting. Here's the frontal boundary, 57-mile-per-hour wind gusts nearing shore tomorrow morning, early morning before 5 a.m. The wind warning still up for the coast, 30 plus in the valley. And then 5 a.m., now we've got the front is pushed inland. You got winds at the coast back down to 30, 40. You got a blustery morning with winds gusting 20 to 30 still in the valley, but nothing extreme. And then those breezy winds just continue into the afternoon from the southwest, 20, 25 in the valley and about the same at the coast. So again, none of the modeling is showing anything extreme. So based on the modeling, you would not expect there to be widespread winds along the coast greater than 50, but probably some. You would not expect there to be widespread 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts in the valley or 45, but maybe some. So we'll just see. Here's a look on the American GFS model. Get your bearings. Watch my cursor. This is basically the surface map, and the green is the rain. Here's Portland. Okay, so here's Portland, Oregon, Washington. Here's the low offshore. Now I'm going to play this into this evening. Now, what I'm looking at are these lines of equal pressure, the isobars. They're fairly tight together. This is a south wind flow flowing up parallel between these lines. This is the south fetch, and the lines are getting what we call tightly packed, not overly so. Again, I don't think there's any reason for concern. It's more of a nuisance wind than anything, okay? So let's go ahead and play this into tomorrow morning. So tomorrow morning at 4 in the morning, watch my cursor. This is the front, which is now basically along the coast, starting to edge into the coast range, but not quite yet into the valley. And when does it get into the valley? So let me just keep hitting. So this would be mid-morning tomorrow morning. This would be like around 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. Here's the front now, just starting to work in to the valley. Notice how the lines aren't as tightly packed. So again, the strongest of the winds in early tomorrow morning. But here's this low, even if I'm going to play this to 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Here's the low. It's like a secondary front right back in here. And all of this is still feeding an aggressive westerly flow of moisture for scattered numerous showers. And the low right there and the colder air moving in, leading to the instability that will give us the heightened chance of getting some thunderstorms kind of mixed in again the latter part of tomorrow. And while I have your attention, I'm going to fast forward because we have showers Thursday, numerous potentially. Friday, fewer showers. We're dry Saturday morning. Here's Saturday morning. We're all dry again. Here's Portland. Get your bearings. There's Portland. Then I play this into 5 o'clock Saturday afternoon. Here's our next front. In green, there's the rain nearing the coast at 5 o'clock Saturday afternoon. So now it looks like rain comes in Saturday evening. There's a front right here, first thing Sunday morning. Then the front clears, and we've got showers feeding during the day Sunday. So that's kind of what we're looking at through the weekend. All right, let's go up to Bend, shall we? We've got rain in Central Oregon. This is a widespread push of rain that goes across all of the state, right? Everybody gets rain at times on Wednesday. Breezy conditions, 49 the high. Then you've got a dry Friday and Saturday to enjoy in Central Oregon, but it will be cool behind this front. Temperatures only in the 40s. How about down in Medford? Check it out. 53 rainy. Remember that rain shield goes literally from the Canadian border all the way to the California border. 53. Showers on Thursday and a chance ongoing on Friday. And then Saturday, probably dry. And then here's some more rain coming in Sunday, Monday. So that's the same kind of timing as I'm looking at for Portland, Salem, and up into Vancouver. Seattle, they've got a rainy pattern through the weekends. Seattle may not be dry on Saturday, it looks like. So that's a lot of rain. And look at all the days only in the 40s. So that's cool up there. Newport, let's see here. Tomorrow, 59 degrees, showers, windy in the morning, staying breezy throughout the day. Showers Thursday, Friday. This is showing, why is it showing rain likely on Saturday? That's a dry Saturday morning, but rain coming in the afternoon along the coast. And remember, into the evening hours in the valleys. That's what that is showing, okay? We go up to Salem, probably going to be about the same as Portland, 57, 57, 56, 52. Again, the rain is late day into the evening on Saturday after a dry morning. Had some folks say we want to hear more about Roseburg, which of course is down here south of Eugene, down toward Medford. Remember that rain shield goes all the way down into southern Oregon. You folks that far south are not included in the wind advisory tonight, but you'll have some noticeable breezy south winds, I would assume. All right. My 7-day forecast, courtesy of Hazeldale Tire Pros. Again, you can find my custom 7-day work, meaning my numbers, nobody else's, on my weather site, portlandweather.com. We've got the rain. We stay about 50 tonight. We talked about the weather, still 56 tomorrow. The heavy showers, the thunderstorm chance returns tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night, Thursday. Friday's a much quieter day. I don't think there's a storm chance. Fewer showers, more sun. And then Saturday becoming cloudy, a dry morning, evening rain, rain to showers on Sunday. Now, I may be too warm. It's possible that Sunday only sees high temperatures around 50 or even some 48, 49 numbers. Right now, when I look at stuff, I'm like, well, we have a chance to hit 50, so we'll see. All right. I'm meteorologist Rod Hill. Thanks for subscribing to my channel. If you haven't done that, please do so. It helps me out. It sends you notifications when I post, and I will talk to you soon.